Hey everyone, I'm Lauren Conlin. I just wanted to jump on because I believe there is going to be a press conference about the Midtown Manhattan shooting that occurred just a few hours ago. I was going to play just some clips and give everybody an update as to what I've heard from my NYPD sources, and it's very hot in here, so just bear with me. But let's take a look at what Fox is saying, who is on the scene right now. And there seems to be some speculation that this was definitely targeted because the shooter went directly to the 33rd floor of Blackstone, the building on Park Avenue. It's on 54th and Park. At first, I was very nervous because I was like, okay, this could be a sleeper. He could be, a terrorist, and there could be a lot more of them because that's sometimes what happens. But the fact is, he had this rifle. He had 30 rounds of ammunition. That's what my NYPD source says. Of course, this is all subject to change. But if he had all of this ammunition, he could have shot people outside, but he didn't. Allegedly, what he did is he walked into the lobby of the building and he shot the NYPD officer that was actually not even on duty, doing a paid detail to earn extra money. That's what NYPD officers do. So, hey guys, sorry, I just realized that there was a chat. I was just talking and did not even realize. Sorry. So yeah, so I guess my nerves eased a little bit, but this is so terrifying. So terrifying. And again, I want to ensure that if there is a press conference that I play it immediately, at 10 p.m. So I'll go ahead and look, but I got to show you guys this video. This is what I found on Facebook. And this is why I have to figure out what is on the 33rd floor of that building. But we know the NFL building is in that, what is the name of that building? I mean, it's the Blackstone building, but I got to find the number. But look at this. I will share this or this came from Facebook. Let me see. I don't know why it's not. Oh, now it's not pulling up for me. Oh my gosh. But anyway, I believe this might be somehow football NFL related because of this video that somebody posted again on Facebook. Let me see. Here we go. Shane. Let's find this video of Shane. All right. Here it is. Okay. Look at this. This is so weird. It's giving me chills. This is the suspect. Hold on.
Big 35. Hey, we're here with standout running back Shane Tamira from the Granada Hills football team. Big 35-31 victory against Kennedy tonight. The battle for Granada Hills.
Thank you,
Shane,
Andy.
just talk about
Thank you.
You guys getting that win tonight. How'd you guys come through?
We definitely had to stay disciplined. We were down 10-0. We definitely had to stay disciplined. Our coach kept saying, don't hold your heads down, don't hold your heads down. We just had to stay disciplined and come together as a team.
Shane, a couple of touchdowns for you, including a huge one late in the game there in the fourth quarter with under 4 minutes to go. That put you guys up 35-24, sort of sealed the game there for you guys, gave you guys a nice cushion. Take us through that play right there, jailbreak screen right there. Then you broke free about the 50-yard line and then took it to the house.
Well, our coach basically asked me, he was like, Shane, is the T screen open? Is the T screen open? I was like, yeah, it's definitely open. So we just threw the pass to me, Ernie threw the pass to me, and one thing led to another, and I scored.
Shane, talk about, you mentioned you guys were down 10-0 early hole.
And this looks like high school,
things could have got out of control,
so he's 27 now.
How did you guys pick yourself up off the floor after that early 10-0 deficit?
Check on him.
Definitely had to stay disciplined. Our coaches kept telling us, don't hold your heads down. It's just the first half, or it's actually just the first quarter. We just had to keep playing, keep fighting through it, and just hold our heads up high, and then a good result.
Okay, so we saw that. Let me go back to what Fox is saying now, but wow, that is so crazy. I mean, either it's a really big coincidence that there's a video circulating of him playing football, or this is football related. Yeah, I'm willing to bet that it's somehow football related, but I mean, I guess we'll find out. Let me share this Fox News just quick briefing while I look for the presser as well.
James Gagliano. James, I believe we're hearing reports that it was an automatic rifle. I'm not sure we've confirmed that.
And
But
yes,
if it
Maypal, that was
what
the
does that
shooter.
tell you?
Well, Jess, yeah, we are hearing through channels that it looks like some type of AR style rifle. Looks like it had a 30-round magazine in it. Jess, it just seems odd if the pictures that are floating around right now are confirmed that this was the shooter. This completely looks to me like a targeted attack.
Okay.
If this shooter was set on a mass casualty situation, a mass shooter, there were so many targets of opportunity that appears that weren't taken. He went up to a particular floor. He obviously had some way to get into the building. He had to get past one armed officer there. And Jesse, to your the other folks that joined you, thank God for the NYPD. 36,000 police officers.
Oh my gosh.
They are the best of the best.
Oh my gosh, that's
now
wild.
I got to caution everybody. This is going to be a long night. Even if the shooter acted alone, and we always presume that there were accomplices. We always presume that there are other people that might be associated. There might be some type of conspiracy. And we've got to make sure to get to the bottom of that first. But they're going to go through that building, and it's a difficult crisis site. It's a vertical building. It's not a horizontal platform. So they've got to work through every floor. And I'll just close with this. You know, there's been some discussion on what's being taught to civilians that you should do in a situation like this. And yes, it's nuanced, and yes, it's constantly tweaked, but run, hide, fight, and tell are what the FBI is teaching currently. And why is that? You want to get out of there as quickly as possible and get away. If you can't, and you can find cover, and that's not concealment, cover where you can put something between you and the bad guy, do that. And if it comes down to it, and your life is on the line, obviously fight. But Jesse, the fourth and equally important is the tell part. Go to law enforcement. Tell them what you saw. Give as accurate a description as you can of the shooter or shooters, what they're wearing, what type of weapons, and where they're located.
So we're getting word from a Blackstone employee who says you do not need badge access to get up into the elevator. Once you're into the elevator, you can go to whatever floor you want.
That's scary. Okay.
There is a chance this guy wasn't a disgruntled employee, former current employee at all.
But
I mean, this guy could have been a targeted killer and had a grudge based on pretty much anything. It could have been political. It could have been ideological. It could have been romantic. We really, at this point, have no idea the motivation of the gunman. What are the possibilities here?
So let's work through them right now. So you just defined at first an act
just quickly,
of terror.
I do have a place to watch the press conference. So there will be a press conference. I'll keep an eye. It's supposed to start at 10. Nobody's there yet. It looks like they're doing the press conference, I think, at New York Presbyterian. I'm assuming that's where they took the police officer. So, yeah, I mean, what is so wild is like, look, from what we're learning now, I believe he came in some kind of black vehicle. So it's not like he was walking down the street with a rifle, which is, I think, what a lot of us were picturing. So, you know, I can just read part of my Twitter because I have a source at the NYPD. I did email DCPI, which is the press office. They're slow, obviously, and they're very busy. So my source said that, you know, I went over this, that basically the suspect entered the Blackstone building and shot the police officer who was off duty working on a paid detail job. And the officer, by the way, he said had only been on the job for about 2.5 years. Oh, so sad. But then he shared that the suspect was carrying around 30 rounds of ammunition. And he said he had been walking the streets at some point. So, you know, again, I don't know if he was just, you know, walking all day with a rifle, but he had ample opportunity to shoot other people. and he didn't. So that's why I think it leads a lot of people to believe that this is very targeted. And after he shot the officer, you heard what Fox just said. They spoke to an employee at the building, which, by the way, also houses KPMG and a few other larger companies as well. And you don't need key card access. You can just go up to any type of floor. So he went up to the 33rd floor, excuse me. And yeah, we don't actually know what happened from there, but we will find out soon with this press conference. So let's see. I can share, let me share this just so we can be fully ready when the press conference starts. And let me see if there's any other information available while we are waiting. Let me see. Okay, I will. So listen, I am not in town right now, and I think I mean I'm happy and sad I'm not in town, but if I was in town, I think many of you guys know me, I would be down there getting answers for everybody. And that's just what I would be doing. Like when Brian Thompson got shot by allegedly Luigi Mangione, I was right down there getting answers, trying to figure out what was going on. And if you're just joining right now, I can just give you some updates here. So 5 people were killed that we know of right now. And among those 5 people, there was the police officer, the off-duty police officer, and 6 were critically hurt. So that is what we know as of right now. And so I did see his picture, and I have a couple shots. I didn't get to put these up yet on X or that one video, but I do have another source from NYPD counterterrorism, and they told me that they do have a picture of his face blown off. And my source was like, "Do you want it?" I was like, I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I don't know. So I'm just waiting to see what else they have here. Let me show you. You know what I'll do? Let me upload this picture. Okay, yeah. So the pay detail cop was from the 47th precinct. I mean, that's all that I know right now. But let me upload these here. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. If you guys have seen any of these pictures, they barricaded the doors in the office. That's so freaking sad. Are you kidding me? That's terrifying. I'm trying to upload this. I have a picture of the gun. Oh, with blood on it, the shooter's blood. I mean, I'll upload that, and let me see. I just don't know if anybody, if that's like super important. I guess it's kind of sensational. And so, by the way, I did just do a quick background check on the suspect. And the suspect here, let me pull, you know what, actually? Yeah, so they were barricaded. Let me see. Let me share these photos, because this way, oh shoot. You know what? I can't share photos on StreamYard. I have to do they have to be a PDF. It's so annoying. But let me tell you guys, this guy has no priors. I was able to look that up very quickly. No priors. It's showing that he lives obviously in Vegas, Sunset Beach Lane in Las Vegas, Nevada. He's 27 years old, born in 1998. And there's really not much about him here that's known. So yeah, Kathy, I heard that too, but I don't know for certain, so I can't confirm or deny that just yet. So I guess we'll wait and see. But yeah, I did hear that. So this is, if you guys can see, because not going to upload it now. This is the suspect, and oh, it has his address. Wow, I thought I was like so slick. His address is already printed on here. Wow, I guess I'm not that slick. Yeah, it has his social on here. His height, 5'7". He was not super tall, and he weighed 150 pounds. Wow, when I was pregnant, I weighed 30 more pounds than he did. So, but man, I am shocked. I am so shocked at this. And let me see. Nope. Press conference has not started yet. Yeah, totally, Kathy. It doesn't matter. Male, female, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. So, what else do we know right now? Well, so no, we don't know if he left a manifesto. We don't know anything. Yeah. Who's saying you know him? What do you mean you know him? What do you know? What do you know exactly? Let me see what else is going on. Let's see who has. And you know what? Sometimes when this stuff happens, I get lucky and some people will just send me stuff. People will be like, oh, like that. Like I know this person or, whatever. Sorry, guys. My face is so red. It's so hot in this room. I need to put the fan on. I ran up here and I'm at my parents' house and there's literally no air conditioning on in the upstairs because nobody goes upstairs. So just forgive me if I'm sweating like this.
Say
They are allowed to moonlight as long as it's approved by the department. They are allowed to do that when they're off duty.
Okay.
You see that
The
quite
presser still
frequently when you go into some
hasn't
of
started, but
those, office buildings here around the city. I'm sure some of you folks watching at home, when you've been in the city, you've seen that as well. But again, the mayor's supposed to be having a news conference shortly.
yeah. So the mayor's supposed to be talking
on exactly what happened
any
and
minute.
the condition of those who were shot. Back inside.
He is definitely not white.
Okay.
I mean,
he's terrifying ordeal today. All right.
He's not white.
So
That's weird.
Now we want to head to Arthur Sheehan, who's live outside
Thanks,
New York
Afton.
Presbyterian on
Definitely
the Upper
not
East
white.
Side, where the victims were taken. Arthur, what are you seeing?
So all the
there?
victims were
Last
taken to New York
check with you, it was a very
Presbyterian.
tense situation.
Thanks, Al.
Yeah, and it is still a tense situation. You're right. We were outside the last time you
I'm going to try to get some more info while
here at New York Presbyterian Weill Cornell Medical Center. This is 68th Street and York Avenue. This is where a number of officials are, as you can see behind us, are going to be speaking and giving their first briefing that we will.
They're getting ready
about exactly what went down here. There are 3 locations that we're aware of where people were brought as a result of this shooting. You have this location here. We heard some people might have been brought over. Some of the victims might have been brought over to Bellevue, but it's worth pointing out that there might also be victims still at the scene at that building, and those would be people who are beyond medical help. So there are actually 3 active scenes if we're going to talk about victims of this. As for who we do know is here is that police officer that Matt Animas described seeing, who was brought here, learning things about the police officer. Our sources tell us he's relatively young to the NYPD. That he's been on the job for 4 years, which is considered a relatively short time for a police officer. We are told through multiple sources that he's assigned to the 4-7 precinct in the Bronx, and that he was
I was right about that.
Detail. This is something that's approved. Prior approval is required by the NYPD for them to work extra security jobs and to make some extra money on the side. Commercial businesses often hire these paid detail officers to beef up security. It's a uniformed officer. They're trained professionally, and he was there. Now we've been talking about the nature of his injury. It obviously seemed very grave, and we'll get an update from the city's officials to give you official word.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to start any minute. And by the way, I just remembered that I do have a girlfriend that works in the KPMG building. So I'm going to ask her what is on the 33rd floor. What is on the 33rd floor? She said, do you know? And she said, I wasn't there. She was working from home. Oh my gosh. Thank goodness. All right. Oh no, Les, it's 3 a.m. You're so funny. You're staying with us. Thanks for being here. Hey, 6. And yes, seriously, prayers. I'm just going to pray right now. Oh my gosh. Oh, I feel so bad. This is horrible. Okay. She said 33 is not, 33 is not, 33 is a Blackstone floor, she said. There are no reports of anyone from KPMG being, that have been injured. Yeah, Blackstone, exactly. Wow. All right. So then maybe it's not an NFL thing. What? I don't understand. Ugh, I hate this. I don't think he was an employee, but again, I mean, he's from Vegas. We don't know enough. So I don't I don't want to completely speculate, but you don't need a key card, right, to get up. I mean, she's like, I know as much as you do, but I'm like, no, you don't. You know the building. Like, I'm trying to figure out how this guy just walked in and like opened fire. Sorry, let me play this so I can make sure we're
of everybody
let me
who
just
has been arrived.
That crime
okay.
was. And
Sorry, I just want to make sure we don't miss the presser.
A professional we talked to, he said that he heard a woman that warned them that was a shooter situation going on pretty close to where they were. And as you imagine, you're thinking about your family, you're thinking about your coworkers, your colleagues, wondering if they're okay. And he reached out, started making his rounds, and everybody gave the thumbs up and things were decent. Now, they tell me that many of those folks, some of them were working, others are just spectators in the area.
My my friend said you need a key card to get to her floor. So yeah, because if you think about it, you guys, it's like you have to get into the floor. You have to get into the actual office area. And normally, yeah, most office floors are locked, even if the elevator, let's say, isn't locked. So maybe he obviously threatened people on the 33rd floor and tried to get in. I mean, what? Thank you. Thank you for the night where these literally I'm in pajamas. Yeah. That's so weird.
But we're gonna listen to one
other civilians, but I saw two people, immediately put in an ambulance. Couldn't tell if they were alive or dead, but yeah, it's pretty scary.
I mean, and think about that. You're at work. You're seeing people get pulled out, taken into an ambulance, and you're really close to where
can't even
you make a
imagine.
living. We're going to find out what the why, the motive behind that. That's what we're hoping to find out. Many of the people, that was a major concern when we spoke to them, why this happened.
Yes.
Hopefully that press conference can give us some answers on that. I'll send things back to you, Natasha.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if people have PTSD from what they saw today. It's so incredibly scary. All right, Kendall, thank you so much. Joining us now with more on today's shooting is Bill Daly, a security expert. Bill, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Hey, Daisha.
Good evening, Natasha.
A shooting happening in broad daylight, middle of Manhattan, in a building that's housing high-powered financial institutions at the end of the workday with people heading home, going to the subway.
I'll get the exact time. Hang on.
What stands out to you right now about this shooting?
Well, a couple of things stand out to me. First of all,
around dinner time when I first saw
was with an intent. So if this was somebody who just was and mayhem and death in New York City, certainly there'd be a lot of other targets in and around on the street outside the building or in any other part of New York City. So if you see with the way that he was walking into this building, it was with intent and with a design to get into a specific place in that building, I believe.
Which is also weird because people have left by then too, a lot of the time.
As a visitor a number of times. And I can tell you that the lobby security is very tight. They have a security desk where you need to sign in.
I need to get up and just put the fan on in here.
I want to go up to
dying.
a certain office or visit someone without being invited. And then there's also automatic or electronic security portals that people need to pass through in order to go into the elevator bank. So it's very tightly secured, and it sounds as though with the paid detail, the off-duty police officer was there as additional precaution by building management, either just out of an
fan is on. Hey, Mayor.
Or we don't know whether or not there was any pre-information about somebody who may have been making threats against someone in the building. But Natasha, that building, as was mentioned by Linda Schmidt and others.
Yeah, that's super interesting. I bet you anything people are looking for people that went to that high school now for interviews to know what this guy is like and why he did this.
It's well known that has offices in that building. So it's not just the companies, but also there are pretty well-known personalities associated with those companies that are also in the building. So we don't know at this point who or why they were targeted.
Walking with such intent. I mean, when you look at that picture, it's unbelievable. He's got sunglasses on.
Yeah, so this is the question. Let me pause this. The question is, the police were searching a black car. So I think he came in a car as well. Although, again, my source at the NYPD said he was at one point walking around with it. But I don't think I just don't see how it's possible that you walk around the streets with a rifle hanging out, right? In daylight. I think maybe what he meant was, and he was texting me kind of fast, maybe he meant he was walking to and from, or across like the quad of the building or something. So yeah, it's a little, like I said, it's a little unclear. I'm just waiting for this dang press conference. I'm kind of like, please just get it together. Somebody grab the mayor out of whatever club he was at. Ugh.
And then he has an AR-15 out there just right by his. It's surprising to see that.
Let's see what the
Well,
Twitterverse is
certainly
pulling.
surprising to see it. And having worked really all my career in New York City, I can tell you is that, as much as New York kind of look the other way when they see all kinds of different things happening on the street, certainly when you would see something like that, immediately draw your attention, and you know that's not supposed to be.
Okay.
He wasn't dressed as a
Oh,
police
let's see
officer.
what Laura
There was
Loomer
no
has.
intent to kind of disguise that he was carrying it out in the open. The other part of this too is that there's reports that this individual, the shooter, is connected with or has lived in or came from Nevada, perhaps Las Vegas.
Okay.
So I'd probably say at this point, the investigation is quickly ensuing to where folks from the FBI, where I used to work many years ago, are now working to identify who else possibly was aware of his plans. Who else could he
did
been
you? So Laura
associated
Loomer
with,
is claiming
checking, perhaps getting
that he also screamed "Free Palestine." I don't. And yes, this is live. Sorry, this is live. I am live. I just paused it, but this show is live. I'm gonna fast forward it so we're keeping up. Yeah, Loomer says that he screamed "Free Palestine." Let me see. I just lost my place. Here. I don't want to switch from the presser. Well, hold on.
getting an immediate search.
Standing by. So let's
Okay,
stay on
here
this
we go.
shot. This is Andrew Kraft. We want to really thank our Fox 5 New York colleagues. They have been out there every step of the way of this story. They got there the minute they heard. That's what we do here.
Yeah. So I mean,
and they've
again,
been trying
Loomer
to get
said that.
you up to speed on the latest
Just saying
information,
that if that
the
is
most
true, she
accurate
did say that. Who
information
knows though?
as we know it and when we know it
Yeah.
here. So as you would
Not
imagine, we're
confirmed.
waiting
You're right. Not confirmed.
for the NYPD to offer their update, led by Commissioner Jessica Tisch, also
here we
with
go.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams. We have been showing you as well so many of these comments coming in to us on X, online, on social media from New York City officials, including the New York Attorney General, Letitia James, New York Governor Kathy Hochul, but also both of the state's Democratic senators, Chuck Schumer and Kirsten Gillibrand, and also federal officials, including Attorney General Pam Bondi and the Deputy Director
Oh, well, Pam
of the
Bondi.
FBI,
Now I feel better.
Dan Bongino. So let's hold it here. I want to bring into the conversation right now some of our
54th
friends
Street,
and colleagues who
Park
unfortunately
Avenue.
we have to call for very, very terrible stories like this. So we're going to bring them in here, but we're going to keep this shot up. They are as follows: national security analyst Hal Kempfert, law enforcement expert and analyst David Katz. And gentlemen, thanks for being with us here. We're going to be relying on your expertise throughout the course of the evening here. We don't want to preempt, though, the very beginning of this press conference, so we're going to come back on to this live picture as we wait for it to get
so
underway
far
here.
people are just pulling up
Hal, I guess I'll start with
the
you
football
here.
video and stuff.
You've
I
seen
don't.
the images by now of this suspected gunman. We do know it has been reported and it has been confirmed. The gunman in this whole thing is dead, according to reports from a self-inflicted gunshot wound here. But you saw those images. I want to put them up. Take a look at this. What goes through your mind when you see this image
I know.
of the suspected
I'm still
gunman
going live at
with the
9:30, but I
weapon
had
in
to jump
hand, what
on.
he's wearing,
This is just
walking so
crazy.
cavalierly, so confidently, so nonchalantly into a major, major financial institution,
what?
the Blackstone building there in New York. Is this a shooter with a mission, Hal?
The shooter, obviously very brazen, walking in with a AR-15 like that. And by the way, if you look at the sling, that's a particular shooter sling that was from the global war on terrorism.
Here we go.
Something we used to use a lot.
Okay, Hal, I'm sorry. We do have to cut you off. We do have the press conference starting.
Let's do
I'll
this.
get back to that question here, but we got to hear from these officials down on the ground
nervous.
there in New York City,
We'll stop
outside
talking.
New York Presbyterian Hospital. They are positions behind the podium here. We don't want to bring up the microphone just yet. It does look like they are, though, getting into position. If I recognize anyone, I'll point them out to you. But as for now, remember, you saw on the scene not only NYPD officials, but also those from New York State Police. We also know that the FBI was assisting with the investigation.
Okay.
So federal law enforcement was also on the scene as well. And so
Better
they're just
not
kind of
be. Ugh.
positioning right now. So bear with us as we are about to see the principals
Welcome.
step up to the microphone. I would imagine it's going to be Commissioner Tisch, also New York City Mayor Eric
Jessica
Adams.
Tisch is
I'll
amazing.
also
I think
point
she's
out whether or
amazing.
not any other New York elected leaders will be on hand for this here. So,
Let me see.
like I said, bear with us. But this is what has been
The
reported. The
indictment was
shooting
dropped.
at the Midtown Manhattan office building there on Park and Lexington Avenues. It left at least 5 people dead. That is according to the Associated Press. One of those fatalities included an off-duty New York City police officer who, according to reports, from what we know, that officer off-duty was contracted with the security at the building. NYPD officers are free to do this with permission from the overall force. And that is why that off-duty officer was there. He was working as security for the building. We know that. We also know that the suspect in all of this was identified as Shane Tamura
Okay.
of Nevada.
Yep, we
That's according
know.
to 2 people briefed on the investigation, telling that to the sources say he
Thanks,
fatally
Aaron.
shot himself. So I would imagine we're going to get some of these
What a
pieces
coward.
of information, some of these details at
Coward.
this very press conference, though, here on Live Now. We do rely on Fox 5 New York, on the Fox News channel, and also on the Associated Press to bring you some of this reporting in real time when it is confirmed here. Now, the Fire Department of New York said emergency crews were called to the Park Avenue office building around 6:30 p.m. local time this afternoon for a report of someone shot. Remember, this is the headquarters of Blackstone, the major hedge fund, also the New York headquarters of the NFL there, too. So it does look like we are
Let's go.
anticipating this press conference hasn't gotten underway just yet. You do see there some of these law enforcement officials getting ready to brief the media. We do have some of our
Oh
law
my gosh,
enforcement
you're
analysts
so
and experts
right, Bernadette. Oh my
waiting in the
gosh.
wings here on standby. They're going to help us make sense of what was said during this. We're going to break it down. We're going to try to tease out some of the strands in the investigation that goes on from here. But I think that was the
Good to
question I
hear.
was asking Hal Kempfer. How does this happen? The why in all of this? How does a guy walk into a major New York City office building with that type of weapon and carry out this rampage? What was his motive? Now,
Yeah.
motive, it may be too early to tell.
They got us already, and now
And
they're
usually in
taking
these
forever. I'm going to keep
investigations,
digging right now.
when they're just hours old, I know about the motive, that's the why. But that's part of the investigation that they have to figure out still. These law enforcement analysts who are going to be briefing us momentarily. You also see there, looks like in the white medical coat, that seems to be a representative from New York Presbyterian Hospital.
Where's there's a doctor in
You
the
also
back.
see the
Oh,
Manhattan
no.
District Attorney on the far right there, Alvin Bragg, as well.
Ugh.
And so I'm just trying to do my best to recognize,
Oh, well,
familiarize
Alvin Bragg
yourself
is
with
here,
some of
so.
these New York City
Sorry.
officials. I would imagine we're waiting for the commissioner. We're also waiting for the mayor.
Yeah.
And
Waiting
while
for
we
the
do wait,
mayor,
maybe it
Jessica
is
Tisch,
safe
the
to bring in
commissioner.
some of our analysis, some of our expertise here. Don't want to preempt them or cut them off, but as you know, things like this, they're very fluid.
We don't know the
We
motive
bring you
yet.
these
Hopefully
updates in real
soon.
time. I believe that is yet another high-ranking NYPD official. John Chell is his name.
You know, and that's what's weird. It's
believe.
like if he shot the off-duty police officer, and think of how many security guards or you know, people that work in the front desk of buildings. There's usually a crap ton of them. I mean, what they ducked or they ran or whatever, or he didn't care and he just went straight for the 33rd floor. I'm confused. I really am.
I believe he's either, and so you have more.
Sorry, just to make sure we're live. Okay.
So bear with us here. We're going to keep this shot up. But you even see more officials from the hospital where some of these victims presumably were treated.
It's Blackstone. It's a Blackstone office, MJ. That's what somebody that I know that works in that building told me.
This is an extremely terrible, tragic story to tell. If you're in New York, you have family in New York, you have friends in New York, you're thinking about them today, you're calling them to make sure they're okay.
Ugh.
And we're going to
Oh,
talk about some
interesting.
of the crime statistics in New York City. The NYPD over the 4th of July holiday, we're touting some of those very statistics, that the number of murders in the city was extremely low this year in the first half of the year. And then something like this happens,
Okay.
and you really can't wrap your head around it. That question, why? It's being reported this shooter was a resident of Nevada. All right, here we have it. New York City
Okay.
Mayor Eric Adams. Let's
Finally,
listen.
let's go, guys. I'm going to take notes for tomorrow.
This never gets easy. I always go back to the beginning of my role as mayor in Harlem Hospital, where Officer Mora and Rivera were assassinated. I remember watching their family members enter the hospital and a loud yell of, "No, God, please tell me it's not true." I thought about that today when the notification came over from the police commissioner that we had a number of shots fired, and we're still unraveling what took place. And our hearts are heavy. 5 innocent people shot tonight. We lost 4 souls to another senseless act of gun violence,
5,
including a member of the New York City Police Department, Officer Islam. He served in the 47th precinct. He was just 36 years old and a 3.5-year veteran of the department. He was doing what he does best, and all members of the police department carry out. He was saving lives. He was protecting New Yorkers. He's an immigrant from Bangladesh, and he loved his city. And everyone we spoke with stated he was a person of faith and a person that believed in God and believed in living out the life of a godly person. He embodies what this city is all about. He's a true blue New Yorker, not only in the uniform he wore, but in his spirit and energy of loving this city. And early tonight, I met with the officer's family. I told them that he was a hero, and we admire him for putting his life on the line. This was his dad's only son. I think about Jordan, my child, and it's unimaginable to experience a loss of this magnitude. And 3 other innocent civilians are also dead. 2 males and 1 female, and another male is seriously injured, fighting for his life in critical condition because of the violent, despicable attack. Additionally, the shooter is dead of an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Okay, we know.
To be clear, 6 total tonight died, 1 including the perpetrator. And I'm sorry, 6 total was shot tonight, 1 including the perpetrator. No words can describe this act of evil and the life of others who are innocent. And no words can fill the void that has been left.
Who got shot? Who were they?
Hearts break for the families and friends of the victims.
Thanks,
We pray
Ray.
for the swift and safe recovery recovery of the injured. Horrific crime reminds us all how easy it is to gain access to a gun. Gun violence has
Oh, don't
scarred
give us
so
a
many
gun lesson
neighbors
right
and
now,
ripped apart
please.
too many families across this entire country. And we will continue to fight to do all we can to protect our city. But tonight we mourn for those who were killed. And we pray for the families as they go through this painful moment. And as I stated, 5 innocent people were shot. And the perpetrator was shot.
Okay. He's telling us
We
nothing.
continue to do what we do as a city, and that's fight to protect innocent New Yorkers.
What is this?
At this time, I'm going to turn it over to the
Oh,
Police Commissioner of the
okay.
City of New York, Commissioner Tisch.
Yeah, we'll look up Reno after, Kathy. 5 plus
Thank
him,
you,
Brooklyn,
sir.
yes.
The information that I'm about to provide is
Here we go.
preliminary and subject to change. At 6:28 p.m., the 911 call center started receiving multiple 911 calls for an active shooter inside of 345 Park Avenue at 52nd Street in Manhattan. What happened next is under an active investigation, and details are still coming in, but here's what we know so far. Surveillance video shows a male exit a double-parked black BMW on Park Avenue between 51st and 52nd Streets, carrying an M4 rifle in his right hand. He walks towards the building's entrance. That individual was seen exiting the BMW alone. The building's security camera footage shows the shooter enter the lobby, turn right, and immediately open fire on an NYPD officer. He then shoots a woman who took cover behind a pillar and proceeds through the lobby, spraying it with gunfire. He makes his way to the elevator bank, where he shoots a security guard who was taking cover behind the security desk. One additional male is shot in the lobby, per his own statement from the hospital. The shooter then calls the elevator, which opens in the lobby. A female exits that elevator, and he allows her to walk past him unharmed. Goes up to the 33rd floor, which is Rudin Management, and begins to walk the floor, firing rounds as he traveled. One person was struck and killed on that floor. He then proceeds down a hallway and shoots himself in the chest. In total, we have 5 victims shot, our officer and 4 other innocent civilians, plus the shooter. The shooter is believed to be Shane Tamora, a 27-year-old male with a Las Vegas address.
Okay.
The vehicle is registered in Nevada to Mr. Tamora. Inside of that vehicle, officers found a rifle case with rounds, a loaded revolver, ammunition, and magazines, a backpack, and medication prescribed to Mr. Tamora. The vehicle was searched by our bomb squad and found to be clear of any explosives.
Okay.
The initial investigation shows that Mr. Tamora's vehicle traveled cross country through Colorado on July 26th, then Nebraska and Iowa on July 27th, and then in Columbia, New Jersey, as recently as 4:24 p.m. today. The vehicle entered New York City shortly thereafter. According to our law enforcement partners in Las Vegas, Mr. Tamora has a documented mental health history. His motives are still under investigation, and we are working to understand why he targeted this particular location. 345 Park Avenue is a commercial office building. Whose tenants include the NFL, Rudin Management, KPMG, and Blackstone. At this time, 4 of the 5 victims are deceased, including our NYPD cop. Our officer was transported here to New York Presbyterian along with 1 male civilian, the lone shooting survivor, who is in critical but stable condition at this time. 2 other civilians, 1 male and 1 female, both deceased, were brought to Bellevue. The 4th civilian is a female who was found dead on the 33rd floor of the location.
No.
Additionally, there are 4 other victims being treated for minor injuries sustained in their attempts to flee the scene. Victims' names are being withheld at this time.
I get that.
Pending family notification.
Yeah.
Officers from our Special Operations Division are currently conducting a secondary sweep of the entire building. I want to be very clear. We believe this to be a lone shooter, and there is no longer an active threat to the public.
Whew.
But today, 4 innocent victims are dead. Among them is NYPD police officer Didarul Islam, 36 years old, 4 years on the job. Officer Islam was married with 2 young boys.
Oh.
His wife is pregnant with their 3rd child. He's assigned to the 4-7 precinct in the Bronx. He was doing the job that we asked him to do. He put himself in harm's way. He made the ultimate sacrifice, shot in cold blood, wearing a uniform that stood for the promise that he made to this city. He died as he lived, a hero.
So sad.
I want to extend my profound sympathies to all of the victims and their families, and to the brave NYPD cops who today lost a brother. There's still many questions that we have to answer, and we will answer them. But for now, our city is in mourning for the innocent lives lost. May their memories be a blessing.
What the fuck?
Patrick Henry Prey. This is a devastating night for our city, for our police department. Pure evil came to the heart of our city and struck innocent people. And one of our police officers who were protecting those people. We lost 4 people tonight in our hero brother who gave his life for this city. He was a hardworking police officer who was proud, we know, from hearing from his family, to put on that uniform and shield of a New York City police officer every day and went out and did his job. And he went out every single day to provide for his family, whether it was overtime or whatever he had to do to provide for this family. That's what he did on a daily basis. And his family is devastated. A wife losing a husband who provided for that family.
Thank you so much. That's so nice of you. Thank you.
He's not going to see
anything but the norm. You're so kind. As I'm like,
and our hearts of every New York City police officer right now is hurting.
Yeah.
We're hurting for our brother police officer who we lost. We're hurting.
No, I'm
for that
okay.
family.
Thank you.
We're
I'm
hurting
a baby.
for all the victims and hurting for all the families of the victims. And we're all asking, why? Why did pure evil come here? And we know our police department and our law enforcement partners will work tirelessly to get those answers. But now our job as police officers is to be there for this family, to support them in any way that we can, to come together as a city, to be there for these families of the victims. And we will continue to do that because that's what New York City police officers do. And we're going to continue as police officers to go out and protect this city because we know that evil can strike at any time. But police officers are willing to risk their lives to protect everyone in this room and protect everyone in this city. So we ask all New Yorkers to pray for our police officers' family, to pray for all the victims and their families. And we need to stand united going forward. We thank you for covering this story.
Yeah, we are also joined by our federal partners from the ATF and the FBI. I want to give an opportunity to our partner in the FBI, a special agent in charge of the New York City Fields Office, Chris Rea.
all right, Chris.
Thank you, Mayor. First off, on behalf of all the men and women of the FBI, I'd like to extend my deepest condolences to the victims of this senseless tragedy. And also personally, I want to extend my condolences to the police commissioner And just please know, ma'am and Mr. Mayor, that you have the full force of FBI New York and the full force of FBI to get to the bottom of the answers. Upon learning of the incident this evening, FBI agents immediately deployed to the scene to assist our NYPD partners. While this remains an NYPD investigation, the FBI's New York office stands ready to provide any and all resources to assist our partners. Initial checks of our internal systems have not revealed any information about the subject. But when and if more information becomes available, we will share what we can, when we can, with the public. Thank you.
All right, fair enough. Tomorrow we'll have information, I bet. Literally, by the time I go live at 9:30, I'll probably have so much more info. Wow. What?
All of this information is under active investigation. Videos are being reviewed. And then as this investigation continues to unfold, we'll be able to answer those questions. But right now, it's an active investigation.
Commissioner, if you could just talk about, he was working day detail there, people who might not know what that means, and was he the only officer working that day detail there?
I believe that there were 2 officers in the building working pay detail assignments in different parts of the building. Pay detail is a program that we have set up at the police department that allows companies to hire officers in uniform to provide extra uniform security. I already described what we found in the vehicle, and it's too early in the investigation to discuss anything more. As I said, too early in this investigation to tell, but nothing that we have seen preliminarily.
I don't think it's Palestine related. They haven't said anything, but yeah.
I cannot, other than to say that our partners in Las Vegas made us aware of a mental health history.
I wish I could hear these questions.
That's what I said already. It was an M4 rifle, and we also found a revolver in the vehicle with ammunition and magazines. He did have a license in the state of Nevada.
Okay.
At this time, it's too early in the investigation to tell.
Okay.
Andrew Kraft back here, as you can see.
So I'm going to pause for a minute, or not for a minute. I'm going to pause. I'm going to just recap. I'm sorry. I know my face is like extra shiny now, but I'll just recap sort of what we just heard based on some of the notes that I took. So Tish said, and she's the commissioner, the NYPD commissioner. She said that the black BMW that he was in was parked between 51st and 52nd Street. So that's about 2.5 or 3 blocks, right, from the Blackstone building. So he parked there, and then he got out and he walked. So again, that's somebody walking with a rifle in their hand at least, 3 blocks. Pretty terrifying. So she said that he walked towards the building, he entered the lobby, and he turned right, and then he opened fire. He tried to shoot a woman that hid behind a pillar. And then what was so terrifying, I literally got chills when she said this, is that he started spraying fire, like out of a Nicolas Cage movie or something. Bad reference. Sorry. He said a male was shot in the lobby per the statement he made at the hospital. So thank God he lived to tell what happened to him. She also made a comment that a woman walked by him, was able to walk by him unharmed, which is crazy. It kind of reminds me of the Idaho murders and Brian Koberger when he walked by one of the surviving roommates. And then he shot a man on the 33rd floor, excuse me, and that is Rudin. So I misspoke. That is Rudin. And then he shot himself after he shot a man on the 33rd floor. And then Jessica Tisch talked about, you know, what they found in the car. They found his backpack. They found a loaded revolver, medication prescribed to him. They didn't say what kind. And they also made sure to mention that as of July 26th, he started to travel cross country. I didn't quite catch where he traveled from. I wasn't quick enough, but I did see that he was in New Jersey today at 4:24 p.m. before he came right into New York. So he did travel cross country. I'll get a bunch of the notes together before tomorrow morning, but wow. I mean, I'll say, like, living in New York, I did think this was I thought he was some kind of sleeper and there would be more planted all over the city. But I think this does seem like it's very targeted. But sorry, you guys, I lost it when she was talking about, or he was talking about the police officer who had 2 young boys and his wife is pregnant. That will just I will never be okay with that. And again, we don't know about these victims, the other victims that died. There could be, you know, they could all be in similar situations. Obviously, any life that's lost is incredibly tragic. I just hate hearing that these kids, their father was murdered for no reason. Yeah. Was that, yeah, I heard Colorado. Was it Colorado that he came from as of the 26th? But yeah, he, did someone say he had schizophrenia? I didn't say that, but maybe yeah, I didn't hear anything about schizophrenia. But again, I'll go through everything, you know, tomorrow. And thank you, Kathy. That's really nice. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I'll get more info. I will also work to have an expert just pop on and just give, you know, some more details about, you know, what they possibly think motive could be. But look, I think by the morning, we're actually going to, okay, sorry, Afton, sorry to interrupt about the schizophrenia. Somebody in the chat said it. Okay. I'm like, I didn't think I heard it on the presser, but yeah, so hopefully we'll have a lot more information by the morning. Like I said, I feel like, you know, hopefully by then they can identify the victims. And I think, you know, that would have been so horrible if they said the victims' names and then family wasn't notified yet. Can you even imagine that? I cannot even imagine that. But yeah, we'll know more in the morning. I'll try to get somebody on that, you know, is either, I don't think I can get my source from the NYPD to actually talk on the record. You know, maybe, no, I know exactly who I'm going to talk to. I got this. Okay. I got this. Sorry, Prolific. Where did I get what? If you're talking about the schizophrenia thing, that's not a thing. Somebody in the chat was just speculating, and that's fine. That just didn't come from me. Let me just double check to make sure I'm not missing anything else as of right now. But yeah, that's about it. And I'm also sure that the internet sleuths will have some information that they're going to dig up about this guy. So yeah, I have to tell you guys, I'm not going to stay up for that long and dig around. I'm sure people will do that for me. I think if anything, I'm just, you know, I'm obviously not in the city, but if I was, I would definitely be down there covering the scene actively to get information for everybody. That's, I mean, I would say I do like to dig about stuff like this, but I'm more like, I like to to get the answers on the spot, and I like to go kind of, figure things out. But I think that, yeah, we could dig into this guy to try to get his motive, but I feel like, yeah, a lot of this is going to come from maybe some hospital records that we don't have access to. You know, I do find it interesting that Las Vegas contacted the NYPD and they were like, hey, check this out. And yes, thank you so much. It feels weird, I guess, when something is so sad like this to say, hit the like, but I appreciate you doing it for me, Kathy. That's really nice. But let me just check on that Reno shooting, because I did hear that as well. And I just want to see if, let me see. 3 dead, several injured. Okay, so this was 8 hours ago. Not that that's horrible, but I just didn't know if it was like the exact same time. Shooter opens fire outside of Reno Casino, killing 3, injuring several others. Doesn't really say much of anything here. Yeah, it doesn't really say anything. I think it's just a horrible coincidence that we had 2 shootings in one day. I don't think there's any type of connection. Yeah. This is a really good question. If this gun, did they say the gun was, oh, you're so funny. Did they say the gun was registered to him? Did you guys catch that? If they said that he had, this gun was actually legal? Because I do feel like, my opinion is if somebody wants to get a gun, they will get a gun regardless. But I'm not sure. I didn't hear them say whether or not this was like a legal weapon. I don't know, Nevada, I feel like, don't they have pretty loose gun laws? I feel like there's a lot of gun ranges there and stuff. Yeah. But I guess that is a really great question. If he had a license, why did he have a license if he had a history of mental health issues? Or this is also a great point, but wouldn't they say that it was 3D printed? I feel like they would point that out. They would say, we found XYZ, and it like Mangione, it was 3D printed. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure. We have a lot of questions that we need answers to. That is for certain. Oh, his license was online. Oh, really? Well, I will have to find that. And that is troubling. That's really troubling. Maybe these mental health issues were very recent and he has had this gun for a long time. Yeah. Sal, that's what I thought totally. And honestly, I will say, like, my husband, he told me he's from Michigan, and he said when he first bought a gun, they like to hunt. So he went into, I think it was like, it might even have been like a Walmart or something. And he wanted to get a rifle for hunting. And they basically just checked to see if he was on a no-fly list. And that was it. And then my dummy husband, who was like, and I say dummy because he was like 21 at the time, dummy guy just walks out with a rifle. They're like, are you on the no-fly list? And he's like, nope. And then they're like, okay. So, yeah. And no, I don't have too much to work on before the live. I'm good. I had pulled together. So if you wanted to, what I was planning on for the live, I actually have, many of you might know him, but I scheduled Joseph Scott Morgan, who is a really, really, I would say, world-renowned death investigator, to weigh in on Jeffrey Epstein's murder, not suicide, allegedly, and why he believes that his death was not a suicide. And he goes into all of the medical reasons about how his neck was, how he was hung, and all this stuff. So that was my plan. And, I'm probably still just going to lead with that, with Joe Scott Morgan. And then I'll brief everybody on this. I'll go to Joe Scott. We'll talk about Epstein for a minute. And then, I'll come back to this, and I'll probably get somebody on in law enforcement or former law enforcement. So Yeah, I know. I was like all ready to start just going deep on Epstein, and I was going to go into a lot more about Ghislaine, the meeting she had, and also her appeal, and some other things about her 2023 appeal that I think are really interesting, that we haven't really gone over yet, and just I don't know, everything that's going on right now with the DOJ and Trump when it comes to Epstein and the stupid amount of gaslighting that we are having to endure. So yeah. So, oh shoot. You know what? Afton, I was like so just out, like I was just had my head down today about some other things because I was also covering this sadistic sugar daddy case, which by the way, everybody should check out that video. It's about 20 minutes and I did it today, but I detail this crazy case out of Manhattan. And it's interesting because some people are like, this is horrifying. I personally think it's horrifying as a woman. You know, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. But this one guy, people are like, well, he hired these women, you know, he paid them, he told them that he wanted rough sex. And so they should have known. But I don't, in my opinion, I think this was more like torture. And thank you so much, Afton. That's really nice of you. Thank you. But yeah, watch that video because it's crazy. And I'm going to be covering that case and going to all the hearings. I'm just not going to the one tomorrow because I don't want to drive out there. I'm too tired. And yeah. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. An Epstein protest. I kind of love that. Diddy, nothing going on with Diddy right now. Diddy is still at the MDC. I mean, as far as I know, he's doing these courses and, you know, trying to just take drug type of courses, domestic violence courses. I'm sure he's doing that to, you know, most likely better himself, but also I'm sure he wants a lighter sentence. So I think, you know, as of right now, that's kind of the latest. And I say that because I don't have anything sensational to add. I can't confirm that he's recording music with Kanye West. There was rumors of that, but no, I can't confirm anything sensational. But Afton, I will check on the Kansas mom stuff. I feel like a plea deal is coming for them. And if you don't know the Kansas moms case, I also have a playlist about that. But I feel like these defendants, they don't want, the death penalty was on the table for them. And I feel like they don't want death. So they're going to take a plea for life. Let's see. That's my prediction. But let me see what else. You're welcome. And yes, thank you so much. Hit the like button. Yeah. I mean, women are getting poorer and poorer in America. So I don't know what you mean by that. Maybe because I was talking about paid escorts or something. I'm not sure. Yeah. No. What? Wait. This is tea. Stop it. My man Sidebar and Gene Deal are going back and forth. Wait, not to make this about me. Like I'm literally not making this about me at all, but I kind of feel a little bit I mean, I don't know if you guys were in the chat, but it was me and Sean and academics. And I brought up that Charlucci was talking about Gene Deal and how everything started with Gene Deal, allegedly. And then I saw that Sean did this video because I was watching, I think I commented Sidebar on it. And you're telling me that now Gene Deal is like throwing shade at him? Or wait, this is crazy. We might have to call Sean tomorrow. Oh, we are now calling Sean. Okay, I'm going to hit him up in the morning because I need all of the details. Okay, now I have something to look forward to. Not that, listen, this stuff is just so heavy and it's like, it's so sad, but yeah, that's why I'm like, ooh, I want the tea. Oh my gosh. He better not be posting about I don't like that. I don't like that at all. We got to rally around Sean, around Sidebar. Not cool. Because Sean is not a grifter, right? Sean is like a passionate guy who like really, you know, whether or not you agree with him. And I think that this is, you know, like where I'm at. Sean and I, you guys have seen us. We don't agree on everything at all, but he's a good guy and he is passionate and he's not fake and he's not a grifter and he's not doing things, whatever. Like, so that's why I'm like, you don't mess with him. You do not mess with him. Yes, Tuesday, Thursday live. And thank you so much, Marnie. Yeah, set the alarm for 9:30. I'm assuming you're not Eastern time, but yeah, it sounds like now we have a lot to discuss, and I'll be like sending Sean a link being like, come on, we need to talk about this. No, I'm not following that. Let me know what that is. But he's calling Gene diabetes. Sorry. Okay, you're like making me laugh now. Thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, I did. That guy's disgusting. I wouldn't have minded seeing him get the death penalty. And it's weird. I'm not even like a big DP person, but lately I feel like I'm like oddly okay with certain people if they were to get the death penalty, like Brian Koberger and Stephen Stearns. If you guys, that case is horrible. He was graping his 13-year-old stepdaughter for a really long time, and then he killed her. And her mom, I don't even get me started on her mom. Her mom that is such neglect. She neglected her child. I'm not going to spread rumors and say, oh, she knew, because I don't actually know. But her daughter, her 13-year-old, was sometimes sleeping with her stepdad. And I don't think the 13-year-old, I don't think Maddie really wanted that, Maddie Soto. I'm going to go out on a limb here. So, oh, really? Okay. No. Nope. DP on this channel means death penalty. You can, you can just blanket that statement right here. On Pop Crime, DP will always mean death penalty. Hey, Tiff. Yeah, Cappy. Totally agree. And I didn't follow that case super closely, but I do think she got some kind of immunity of some kind. I could be wrong, but I'm almost certain that she did. But thank you so much. I appreciate you. But yeah, so, and thanks for everyone coming from academics. But yeah, we have a lot to talk about. Oh my gosh, Kathy, don't even get me started on those guys. I think I have a bunch of, I don't have Chris Watts videos, but I do have Wade Wilson videos. Wade Wilson. Oh, have you seen him recently? He looks disgusting. He's like bloated and just nasty. And like, if you know this guy, he's so horrible. He killed 2 women in a horrific way. Wade Wilson, he got the death penalty, or he's on death row right now. He didn't get the death penalty yet. He was sentenced to death, excuse me. But it was so gross because all of these women were like writing him in prison. And, like, how it goes. It's so gross when these women are like, attracted to these nasty guys. But I guess like one could say he was somewhat attractive. This is not coming from me. This is just whatever. I mean, he did have tattoos on his face where he had the smile like that. It was so weird. So yeah, I guess you could say that he was like kind of attractive. Oh, good night, Sal. Thanks for being here. And then there was a girl, I forget which account it was, Afton or MJ, maybe you guys brought this to my attention, but she posted like jailhouse photos of him and he looked so gross and it made me so happy. Oh my gosh. Was it 4,000 women? That is disgusting. That is so gross. Wait, did Wade Wilson OD? Now I have to look this up. Wade Wilson. I mean, let me see. Did he? Am I crazy? I can't find him OD in jail. Maybe, I don't know. Oh, it said he survived an overdose while in Lee County Jail in 2023. Okay. Yeah, he's got crazy problems. But yeah, I don't feel bad for him like at all. Not even a little bit. Nope. I don't. So, okay. Yeah, no, Tiffany, we definitely would have heard if he wait, is that a name in Deadpool? I feel like maybe it is because when you Google Wade Wilson, a lot of random stuff comes up. But oh my gosh, is it 11 o'clock? I guess it's 11 o'clock. And yes, there is so much wrong here if this guy did have issues, mental health issues, and he was able to get a gun. But, you know, again, I always say that if somebody wants a gun, they're going to get a gun. So, you know, obviously, I guess it makes things a lot easier for them if they can get it legally. But if they can't, like I said, I firmly just believe they're still going to find a way to get it. And that's just a fact. If somebody wants it, they're going to get it, unfortunately. But all right, guys, more in the morning. Everybody be here 9:30 a.m. We have a lot to discuss. And now we have to add Sean G. So it's going to be good. All right, guys. Have a great night. Thank you everybody in the chat for also like helping me out with some of this stuff. I know it's so nice to bounce facts off everybody and just make sure that we're all on the same page. So yeah, thank you all so much. If you're new to the channel, like, subscribe. I can say that now that we've sort of been a little bit lighter. I don't feel as weird. So yeah, I mean, you're right. People are lazy, but I think that if they're crazy enough and they want the gun, they're gonna get it. But yeah, anyway, all right. Thanks, guys. I'll see you tomorrow bright and early, 9:30. Good night.